On a tranquil Thursday evening, the calm enveloping our household was almost tangible, a stillness that had woven itself into our routine. Upstairs, Clara was delicately applying lipstick at her dressing table. Her voice floated down light and airy, saying, "Adam, could you grab my handbag? I believe my lip balm is in the side pocket." I stood from the couch and walked to the hallway table where her purse rested, exactly as she'd mentioned. I opened the side zipper, chewing gum, a phone charger, and then my fingers brushed against something unexpected. A folded slip of paper. Without thinking twice, I opened it. It was a receipt from the Evergreen Hotel's bar, dated last Friday at 9:47 p.m., detailing 2 cocktails and a cheese platter. Yet Clara had claimed she was at a co-worker's house for a virtual meeting that night, citing our unreliable internet. I examined the receipt briefly, then slipped it back into the pocket and closed the purse. Soon after, Clara came downstairs, dressed in fitted jeans and a deep navy top, her lips adorned with a striking red shade I hadn't seen in years. "I might be out late," she said, grabbing her bag. "It's Mel's birthday party." I gave a small nod. She left without another word. I didn't confront her. Arguments aren't my way. Instead, I stored the details in my mind. Evergreen Hotel, Friday, 9:47 p.m. Over the following days, I watched quietly, not accusing, just observing. Clara was predictable. Same morning meal, same drive to work, same evening query. "How was your day?" But that steady rhythm began to waver. On Wednesday, I cooked spaghetti and called out, "Want some grated cheese?" No response. She was curled up on the sofa, giggling at her phone. I tried again, "Cheese?" She looked up, surprised. "Oh, I'm not hungry." 20 minutes later, her tablet glowed with a notification for a sushi delivery. I stayed silent. The next morning, Thursday, she left early, mentioning an 8 a.m. meeting with a client. I checked her shared work calendar. It was blank. That night, she came home with an explanation ready. "This new client is a nightmare. Endless video calls, like every email's an emergency. I might have to go in on Saturdays to stay on top of it." I nodded. "Sounds rough," I replied, avoiding a dispute, just gathering fragments of the truth. On Saturday, she stood before her mirror, sweeping mascara onto her lashes. "There's an off-site design seminar," she said. "A client reserved a venue near Lake Point for project mock-ups. It might take all day." When she left, her smartwatch sat on the nightstand, still plugged in. I tapped its screen. Notifications were disabled, but her messages were visible. At 11:18 a.m., a text from someone named Ethan appeared. "Should I pick up lunch, or are we getting takeout again?" That word again stuck with me. I left the watch alone. Ethan. She'd never spoken of him. She often mentioned her colleagues, Dana, Michael, Kat, but never Ethan. That afternoon, she returned humming, slipping off her shoes. "The place was gorgeous," she said. "You'd have loved it." I handed her a bottle of water, saying nothing, asking nothing. On Monday, I contacted an old coworker, Terry Holt, someone I hadn't spoken to in years. In our real estate days, he was clever and discreet. Now he handled background checks for corporate security firms. I kept it brief. "Terry, I think Clara's being dishonest. I've got a name, Ethan, and a hotel receipt from a night she said she was elsewhere." He didn't pry, just said, "Give me a couple of days." While he investigated, I played the unaware husband, smiling, asking about her day. Her replies seemed rehearsed, her eyes flicking to her phone more frequently. On Wednesday evening, she mentioned a client dinner. "Want me to join you?" I suggested. She gave a strained laugh. "It's business, Adam, not a night out." She left at 7:15. By 8:30, Terry texted, "Check your email." The attachment held 2 photos. Clara leaving the Evergreen Hotel, the same one from the receipt, next to a man, Ethan, early 40s, polished, self-assured. They weren't touching, but the way he looked at her, the way she leaned toward him, laughing, it wasn't professional. It was intimate. I didn't save the photos, just stared. That night, Clara came home late, claiming she was drained. I said nothing. On Friday we ordered takeout, eating in near silence. Her phone vibrated. She snatched it quickly and stood. "That's my ride," she said. "Dana's friend is hosting a rooftop event downtown." I told you about it, right? She didn't wait for my answer, just left. I waited 2 minutes, then followed. She wasn't at a rooftop bar. She was at Revo, a softly lit restaurant with cozy booths and gentle jazz. From across the street, I saw them, Clara and Ethan, embracing outside. It wasn't theatrical or overt, just natural, familiar. She smiled at him, a smile she used to reserve for me. I took one photo, then walked away. At home, I sat in the dark for hours, not weeping or fuming, just reflecting. Saturday morning, while she scrolled her phone on the couch, I placed the photo on the coffee table. She froze, staring at it. How long? I asked. Her voice wavered. Adam, it's not what it looks like. I sat across from her. Then tell me what it is. She glanced at the photo again. We've been distant. I didn't mean for it to go this far. It was just comfort. I kept my voice steady. I'm not here to shout. I just needed you to admit it. Her hands trembled as she reached for the photo. Are you leaving? She asked. I'm already gone. I went upstairs, grabbed my packed bag. She followed, begging, Adam, hold on. Can we talk? I looked into her eyes. We just did. Then I walked out. I rented a simple apartment across town, quiet and private, where no one asked questions. On Monday, I filed for divorce. No yelling, no drama, just paperwork. She kept the house. I wanted only calm. Clara called and texted for a while, left voicemails, but eventually stopped. I threw myself into work, starting a small firm that felt manageable, even fulfilling. Weeks became months, then years, 15 of them. I moved twice, changed cities once, never remarried. Relationships came and went, but none endured. Silence became my sanctuary. Then out of nowhere, a voicemail from Clara, her voice shaky, almost frantic. Adam, I know this is sudden, but we need to talk. It's important. Please, just one meeting. There was no apology in her tone, only urgency, perhaps fear. Curiosity drew me in. The next evening, I met her at a quiet cafe. She looked older, more fragile, worn by time. She stood as I approached. Thank you for coming, she said. Keep it short, I replied. She pulled a folder from her bag. I don't know how to ease into this, so I'll just say it. She slid the folder toward me. You have a daughter. Her name's Ava. I didn't move, didn't touch the folder. What? You have a daughter, she repeated. I didn't tell you. I didn't know how. I opened the folder. A birth certificate for Ava Margaret Reynolds. Mother, Clara Reynolds. Father, Adam Miller. No signature, no prior clue, just the truth 15 years late. She's been having health problems, Clara said. They think it's genetic. She needs your medical history, maybe more. I stared at her. Now you need me. She added. She asked about you. I told her you didn't abandon her. I kept you away. You stole 15 years from me, I said. I know, she whispered. She wants to meet you. Where is she? Room 234 East Wing. I left the cafe without another word. In the hospital room, Ava sat up, pale, her hair pulled back. You're Adam, she said. I nodded. Yeah, I'm your father. She studied me, no tears, no hug, then scooted over and gestured to a chair. You can sit if you want. I did, and we talked about her passion for drawing, her dislike of math, whether I liked dogs. Simple, genuine things. When I left, Clara was waiting in the hallway. I know I took that choice from you, she said. I don't expect forgiveness. I'm not focused on the past, I told her. I'm here for Ava. She nodded and walked away. 2 weeks later, Ava was released from the hospital. Clara prepared her home. I found a place nearby, not to undo the past but to be part of her future. I scaled back work, made space for what mattered. 15 years ago, Clara didn't need me, but Ava did. That was enough, not to heal old scars or rewrite history, but to be there for the one piece that still mattered. Sometimes, that's all we get, the piece we choose.